Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a special video today, and this video today is going to be my mock draft for the upcoming NBA draft that is happening, um, I think the up and coming Thursday. Right now I'm recording this on the 24th of July, so I think it will be the Thursday, like the upcoming Thursday. I'm currently recording this on a Saturday, so I think Thursday will be the draft. I think it's 28th, 27th. I'm not really too sure, but it's a Thursday anyways. So um I'm right now I'm going to be doing a pre like draft, like if there's no trades that are going on, if no trades have happened. This is from the 24th of July. All the stuff that I'm getting this information from, if there are any trades and stuff, this might not be accurate. There's a lot of trades speculating with the Raptors and Pascal Siakam, so the situation might change for each team. But in today's video, I'm gonna be going over through the first round of the NBA draft and be like, giving my opinion on what teams should draft and how their situations would feel. As you can see here, I'm gonna be going to the Pistons. Hold on, let me do a trade finder. I'm just gonna be going to the Pistons. There are the Pistons. As you can see, they have the first pick. Don't worry about the teams and stuff. This is clearly an accurate when I'm only doing the first round, not the second round. That would be just too long of a video. I want to make this short and simple for you guys to, enjoy. And make sure, if you guys disagree or agree with what I have to say, leave it down in the comments of anything you guys want to say, your inputs on any decisions that I made for each team. If I did something wrong, or maybe they should select this person at this position. Um, yeah, please, please, please let me know down in the comments. I'll be very, very appreciated. If you guys leave some comments down, I can reply to them. I just want to make you know, a interactive YouTube channel basically, where I get other people's opinions and I reply to their comments and stuff. Um, and yeah, so we're gonna be going straight to the NBA draft. Um, Detroit Pistons are on the clock. And for my first prospect, most people will be expecting this. It'll be Cade Cunningham. So the reason why I picked Cade Cunningham here is the Pistons are lacking at the shooting guard position anyway, with Diallo possibly not going to re-sign, from my understanding. And all my takes here are from, a regular NBA fan. So I'm not like a, big, big, big fan. I'm just an average fan. I just got into basketball, I think, in 2017. I used to watch in 2013 a bit, but yeah. So I was watching a little bit of these highlights, a little bit of what the team situations are, and Cade Cunningham can definitely play at the shooting guard position along with Killian Hayes, and they have a bright future ahead of them. They have great, great starting lineup, a lot of talent, and Cade Cunningham just gonna highlight that talent. He doesn't have to play point guard in this instance. He could play shooting guard because he is a really, really tall point guard. He can play point guard if he wants. It's what the Pistons want to do with him, but this is probably the obvious choice. Cade Cunningham on the Detroit Pistons. Um, Controversial. I don't know how that's controversial. Houston Rockets. So a lot of speculations. They would pick Evan Mobley or Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Scotty Barnes. There's a lot of choices here, but out of all of them, I feel like Evan Mobley will be the best case scenario for them. A lot of Houston fans that I know probably wondering, why. Um, a lot of Houston fans actually say that Kuminga, or not Kuminga, pardon me, Christian Wood is quite old. Yeah, he's 27. So Evan Mobley, a young center, you know, can really get a lot of minutes on this Houston Rockets team. Their front court could be really, really, really strong with having Christian Wood and Evan Mobley leading the way. They already have great guards, and and what I think Houston should do if they want a guard or they want to trade up or anything, maybe trade Eric Gordon's contract. His contract is gigantic, as most people will know. So maybe trading Eric Gordon to a contender that want to take him. Yeah, that would be a good idea. He can also play the 4 and 5. I think so. Evan Mobley, decent shooter as well, so that's gonna help out with their front court a lot. Their front court's gonna be dangerous if they do select Evan Mobley, and I feel like this is the best case scenario for them. I don't know why it says they're number 4. There's just the third pick, and this is the Cavaliers. And what I think the Cavaliers should select, I feel like they're gonna trade the pick. I have a really, really good feeling that the Cavs are gonna trade on draft day, but I feel like they're gonna take Jalen Green out of the G League. You know, he's got a lot of experience in the G League, and Colin Sexton might be traded at the what is it called, at trade deadline or during the off season. So Jalen Green is a great replacement. Tall shooting guard, 6'6", great height for a shooting guard. And in my opinion, this is probably the most obvious choice, the best shooting guard in the draft class. They don't really need a point guard. Um, Small forward, I think, you know, they could take Kuminga as well, but I feel like it's too high to pick Kuminga. I think Kuminga will be going, you know, top 5, top 4 at most. So I'm going to be picking Jalen Green, as that is a great replacement for Colin Sexton if he decides to leave. So yeah, so Colin Sexton is also, I think, a free agent. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he isn't a free agent. I think he's a RFA, from my understanding. So yeah, next is the Raptors, and this is controversial. So we all know that Pascal Siakam and Ben Simmons, you know, there's speculation that they will get traded. Um, just those two getting traded. So Siakam going to the Sixers and Ben Simmons going to the Raptors. So if that is the case, they'll pick Scotty Barnes, the Raptors, so they can play Ben Simmons at the point guard position, and then play Scotty Barnes at the power forward position, and you'll definitely get a lot of minutes. But on my mock draft, you know, most likely Lowry would leave from the information that I got before when I was making this mock draft. Um, they would pick Jalen Suggs because he is the best point guard available and can definitely fit into Kyle Lowry's shoes. I like Van Vliet at the shooting guard position, and I feel like their point guard, you know, Jalen Suggs can really, really get a lot of minutes. Malachi Flynn and Jalen Suggs can share that minutes. He's a great defender as well. He's going to help out with the defense. And yeah, so he had a very, very good college career with Gonzaga. They had one of the best records from my understanding. So yeah, also Lowry turning 35 as well. He's pretty old. So that is the best for them. And this one is also a very controversial pick right here, the Magic pick. Um, it is either between Jonathan Kuminga or Scotty Barnes. And what I think they should pick is Jonathan Kuminga. So hear me out. You know, Jonathan Kuminga is a small forward and Scotty Barnes is a power forward. People say he can play, you know, small forward, power forward, but I honestly think that Scotty Barnes is a perfect power forward. You know, he's physical, great defender, and I feel like defenders that are forwards, like usually would be fit in the power forward position. And Kuminga is just a great shooter. And the thing is here, Jonathan Kuminga, as much as he's you know, a shooting presence, and you know, Scotty Barnes is probably maybe the best option here. Kuminga is a small forward, and they need a small forward. Their current small forward at the moment, from my understanding, is James Ennis. Um, you know, he's a good player. I actually like James Ennis a lot, but you know, he can't be their starting small forward. And they already have John Isaac, and a lot of people probably thinking, you know, what position will John Isaac play or Jonathan Isaac will play? I think Jonathan Isaac should play at the power forward position, um, solely based on his length and his shooting ability. Kuminga, I feel like, is the perfect small forward. You know, he isn't, you know, too much of a defender, to say the least. He's a good defender, but, you know, he's not that physical. He's not that tall. So getting Kuminga in this situation is probably the best case scenario because, you know, Scotty Barnes can't really play the small forward position, in my opinion. So Jonathan Kuminga, in my opinion, is who they would select. I mean, many mock drafts, they were picking Kuminga originally for the 5th pick. And next is the Thunder, my favorite team currently. Um, this is probably it's probably an obvious option right now. There's no way he's gonna drop, and it's Scotty Barnes. So the Thunder, from my understanding, they didn't have the greatest defense, yet one of the worst defense in the entire league. So Scotty Barnes is gonna really, really help out them. Um, so I think Scotty Barnes said in many reports that, you know, Shea is gonna be a fun guy to play with. and he's a really good pick and roll player. And Shea does a lot of pick and rolls with Moses Brown. Unfortunately, he had to leave uh, because of a trade that acquired us Kemba Walker in the 16th pick in the draft. So I think that Scotty Barnes is the best case scenario for them, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, solely based on his defense and his ability. They can also develop him for his shooting ability as well. As you can see on that analysis there, he's a great shot blocker, so you can already tell that he's a great defender. Um, Next, I think is the Golden State Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Golden State Warriors. And what I think the Golden State Warriors should select is Davion Mitchell. Where is he? Davion Mitchell. And the reason for this is I know Davion Mitchell is a shooting guard, point guard. I think he could play small forward. It's actually, now that I think of it, he's only 6'2", which is kind of a bummer. He is a long, I think he has a good wingspan as well. 6'5". Yeah, now I kind of regret my choice here because Davion Mitchell is pretty short. But Davion Mitchell, what really caught my attention was great defender. They need defense on the Warriors team. I feel like defense can really 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 make a big impact. He's one of the best defenders on this draft class, other than Scotty Barnes. So that's why I think Davion Mitchell is gonna be a solid piece. And for my next one is James Bouknight. That's a really nice face scan on James Bouknight. Whoever made this face scan, that actually looks like James Bouknight. Kind of sad about this selection, but James Bouknight, I really want him to be on the Thunder, but I don't think so. He would drop to 16th and stuff. But he's a really really good player in my opinion. He's a Zach LaVine type player. I was watching a lot of his highlights and analysis on him. So I think that James Bouknight is going to be a very, very solid player in my opinion, solely because of his driving ability, his shooting. He can do it all on the offensive end. Decent defender as well, and the Magics don't really have a shooting guard as well, like well developed, other than RJ Hampton. So he can probably share the workload with James Bouknight. I just feel like he can't just drop past eighth, and this is probably the best selection at this point. So James Bouknight uh, will join the Magic, and I think this pick is from the Bulls. So if the Bulls didn't make the trade for Vucevic and stuff, James Bouknight would have probably not been on the Magic. But yeah, they got they got two lottery picks, which is really good for them. Moving on to the Kings, the struggling Kings team couldn't make the playoffs in a long time. And the person I have here is Jalen Johnson. So the reason why I picked Jalen Johnson, as we all know, as basketball fans, Harrison Barnes, he's getting quite old and his contract's pretty bad. So they might dealt him to a different team. And Jalen Johnson, in my opinion, is one of the best players in the draft. Like, there's a lot of great comments about his game. Um, Yeah, so because of his age, they just picked the best small forward possible. So Jalen Johnson, welcome to the Sacramento Kings. He's a pretty good player, in my opinion. Small forward, power forward, similar position to Harrison Barnes. So they can deal Harrison Barnes probably if they want to, or keep him and let him come off the bench. And moving on to the Pelicans. And what I think the Pelicans select is Keon Johnson. Might be a lot of surprise to a lot of you. Um, I don't know where Keon Johnson is. I'm doing this on 2K for your understanding because it's easier. I can't really display my stuff on like my laptop or something. It would be better if I had like do it on a website or anything. But Kenyon Johnson for the Pelicans. Kenyon Johnson is a point guard as well. Lonzo may be gone, so Keon Johnson is one of the best guards in the draft. Very nice vertical, and he can drive. Um, he can also shoot the ball, so he's gonna be pretty good for the Pelicans. If they decide to deal or Bledsoe or Lonzo away, he can definitely get a lot of minutes. For the Hornets, Franz Wagner. The reason why I select this because Franz Wagner is really good shooter. And since Gordon Hayward's dealing with a lot of injuries, he can definitely get a lot of minutes and prove his worth. He's decent height. You can see here, 6'9", a really good small forward. He can stretch the floor, so he can play power forward if he wants to, because of his weight as well. Pretty big guy, to say the least. He can, even if Gordon Hayward does actually come back and play next season, he can be a really nice force. Uh, the bench, even though they do have Miles Bridges, they could play Miles Bridges to the small forward and maybe move Wagner and try him at the power forward position. But for now, I'm gonna pick Franz Wagner. I feel like that's the best case scenario for the Hornets. Um, All American. That doesn't make any sense because he's from Germany, from my understanding. So for the Spurs here, I'm gonna pick Corey Kispert. So you may be wondering why Corey Kispert. This is a really weird choice for the Spurs. I'll tell you in a quick, my understanding. DeRozan's probably gonna leave. Spurs fans probably already know this as well. He's gonna leave, so they're gonna need a new, replacement small forward. They could play. What's his name? He's on the Team USA. Something Johnson dude. I'm gonna call him the Johnson dude for now. Um, yeah, so Johnson could play the small forward or power forward. But other than that, they don't have much forwards to say the least, other than Rudy Gay. So Corey Kispert, probably the best option here for them. Could do what DeRozan does, but better. He can slash, attack the rim, and also can shoot the ball pretty well. He was part of that really good Gonzaga team last time that they made the finals and stuff. Indiana Pacers. I was gonna pick Corey Kispert, but I didn't want Corey Kispert to drop too much. So instead, I'm gonna pick Moses Moody. I don't really like know any like proper shooting guards other than Karis LeVert on the Pacers, so that's why I wanna pick Moses Moody. And also he's a very good catch and shooter and can come off the bench with shooting because Karis LeVert isn't the greatest, 3-point shooter at times. So Moses Moody can really bail them out off the bench. For the Warriors, I'm gonna pick most likely if he's here. Yes, Usman Garuba. You may be wondering why Usman Garuba. So is Usman Garuba is a really physical force. Um, Draymond Green can really develop him as like a mentor. One of the best interior defenders in this class. Draymond also a great interior defender himself. So they can add more depth to their power forward position with selecting Usman Garuba. So for the Wizards, I'm gonna make them choose Isaiah Jackson. The reason for this, I feel like they're lacking at the power forward position. Other than Rui Hachimura, he isn't the greatest defender, along with Davis Bertans. So Isaiah Jackson, he's a pretty good defender as well, and he can also play the center position because he is 6'10". Um, and Rui Hachimura is also a free agent, so if they choose not to re-sign him back, they can get Isaiah Jackson, but they'll probably pick him up. So for the 16th pick, the Thunder, one of my favorite teams, as I said before, they're gonna pick Alperen Sengun. You may be wondering who that is. So Alperen Sengun is a center. They need a center, of course. Since Moses Brown left and Al Horford gone as well, they traded their centers. The center right now is whatchamacallit, Mike Muscala. So Alperen Sengun is a really good guy to develop. He has a raw shooting ability, and they need shooting for the Thunder. Right now, they don't have really much shooters and stuff. He can be a decent defender at times, but if he's a project player, so they develop him really well. He's a good rebounder. They need rebounders as well at the center position. So Alperen Sengun is going to be their selection. For the Grizzlies, I wasn't too confident. I don't really know their state, but I feel like Cam Thomas is going to be their selection. Cameron Thomas? I think this is Cameron Thomas. I don't really know who this is, but I've heard of him before. Um, this is probably the best person for their bench as well. For their shooting guard position is, DeAnthony Melton's not having a good game. Other than DeAnthony Melton, they need more options. He's a bit more taller than them, so Cameron Thomas can be something. And again, is this the Thunder's pick? Yes, this is the Thunder's pick. I don't know why it wasn't allowing me to do anything. So in this one, this is probably the obvious choice. You might be surprised why he's dropped so low, but dealing with the other team's circumstances, this is why he dropped. It's Kai Jones. Kai Jones is probably one of my favorite players on this draft class. Really, really good three-point shooter coming out of Texas. Knowing Texas' reputation, they are really, really well known for some big men. One of my favorite players of all time, Kevin Durant. He's from Texas, along with Miles Turner. Really, really good center that can shoot the ball, stretch the ball, and play some really good defense. He basically is another Miles Turner, Kevin Durant type player because he can stretch the floor, play some decent defense. He is 7 foot. I didn't know he was 7 foot, but he is a gem of a player to have. Really, really good shooting, and what is it? Whatchamacallit? The Thunder really need shooting coming out this draft class for big men. So Kai Jones has a decent three-point shot, and that's why I'm gonna select him with the 18th pick. And next is the Knicks, and he is a good three-point shooter, as it said there. So the New York Knicks. So what I'm going for the New York Knicks here, you may be wondering who this is. Chris Durante. Uh, I don't really know what the Knicks really need. They have a lot of great, great talent. I don't think so. There's much, good forwards that they can pick up. But Chris Durante could play small forward. He is 6'6", so they can move him to the small forward if they like to. He doesn't weigh too much, so I don't know if that would be a risk or not. But he can create his own shot, and he can help the bench out really, really well. His Knicks team doesn't really have the greatest bench when it comes to shooting guards, other than Emmanuel Quickly. So Durante is the best choice for them, and is a great decision maker. I found that the Knicks, were turning the ball over a lot with Julius Randle and stuff. So Chris Durante is my choice because he can create his own shot and can help this team out. For the Hawks, they're gonna pick Sharif Cooper. Sharif Cooper, he could get some experience from Trey Young. He's playing alongside Trey Young. I don't think so. They have like a proper point guard. They can play Lou Will at point guard, but I like Lou Will at the shooting guard more. So Sharif Cooper is probably one of the best point guards in this draft class that are left. So it's probably the best choice to pick Sharif Cooper. Pretty good player. Um, and he has a great mentor in Lou Will that can really help out his game. Really, really good playmaker, and Trey Young's also a good playmaker himself. So this is a pretty good selection for the Hawks. Getting another guy can play make at the point guard position. And the Knicks again. So what I have for the Knicks, this guy is probably one of the best players in this draft class. I don't know why he's really low rated here. Trey Mann. So Trey Mann is a great can get a great mentor from Derrick Rose himself to make a solid point guard. He can shoot the ball really well, can decently slash, and with D Rose's mentorship, he can really blossom into one of the best point guards in this draft class. Next is the Lakers, and this one a lot of people will not know who this is whatsoever. JT Thor. Now hear me out. JT Thor, I am pretty sure he's he's good inside scorer, and I feel like they do need inside scoring at the power forward position. They could play Montrezl Harrell, but if he decides for any reason he gets traded, JT Thor can definitely play for them. But I have a good feeling the Lakers would definitely trade this pick for maybe a DeRozan or something like that. But for now, sorry, excuse me, they'll pick JT Thor. So once they also have a lot of old centers. I forgot to mention that with Marc Gasol and stuff. So JT Thor can really come in once they retire. They can develop him and blossom into a good player if they give him like a decent amount of minutes. And now moving on to Houston. So I have a lot of Houston fans that watch my videos. So this one's for you guys. So what I'm gonna pick right here is Zaire Williams. So you may be wondering why Zaire Williams? He's a project player. I feel like Houston really needs a project player. They're not going to be, a proper playoff team anytime soon. So getting a small forward, they don't really have a small forward other than Jayshawn Tate. He's a pretty small forward. They're probably going to treat Eric Gordon and stuff. So I feel like, in my opinion, Zaire Williams can play shooting guard, small forward. They could play him small forward in this case. They could pick him. And another guy, this is another Rockets pick. I'm going to select Trey Murphy. So Trey Murphy, what did I write here in my notes? So, he could get a lot of minutes at the small forward position. As I said, they can play Zaire Williams to the shooting guard. They have a lot of versatility in the shooting guard, small forward component. The component. He is 6'9", so they can move him to the power forward if they wish. But they do have Kelly Olynyk, who they're probably going to re-sign. He's a really good player, in my opinion. He really stepped up for Houston. Really, really good bench player. But instead of Kenny Martin Jr. and Kelly Olynyk, they can have Trey Murphy here. He can play the small forward and power forward position. He's 6'9", decently heighted. So probably the best player that they can select at the 24th pick. So he's a really good hustler according to that report. So yeah, I don't know if these reports are accurate that I'm reading down there. Um, so next for the Clippers, I got Ayo Demusu or whatever his name is. He has a really funny name. Ayo, you can literally call him Ayo. That's quite funny. He is a point guard. You can also play the shooting guard position. They can also use a point guard, if Patrick Beverly or, Reggie Jackson decides to leave or something. He's a really, really, really good player in this draft. He can create his own shot. And they need to get some, like, buckets. And they can rely on Ayo to, get some buckets for them off the bench. He has a great playmaking ability as well. Loves passing and ball movement for the Clippers. I remember in that Sun series, when they had ball movement, they were on fire. They were passing it to all their players. Ayo can help, help do that. So he can actually be a proper player for this Clippers team. And the Clippers won't have a pick for a long time because the Thunder would have their pick. So I guess he would be, the best case scenario for them moving forward. Their point guard position is pretty weak at the moment, other than, Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverly. Rajon Rondo not getting minutes, so in case they trade Rajon Rondo, they can get him. For the Nuggets, this one was pretty hard, but I had to think far and wide for a choice for the Nuggets. I'm just gonna decide to pick Josh Primo. He's also one of my favorite players in this draft class. He's very, very physical presence. Even though he's 190 pounds, a lot of reports are saying that he will still drive to the paint. He's a quick player due to his weight and stuff. Even though he's like pretty low when it comes to the weight, Josh Primo can slash for them, get buckets for the Nuggets. I don't think so. From my understanding, they have like a prominent shooting guard. I think Will Barton and a lot of shooting guards are entering free agency. So I feel like Josh Primo is one of the best shooting guards, available right now. So I feel like they should pick Josh Primo. And for a lot of my Canadian viewers, I know a lot of you guys are probably Canadian that are watching this right now. He is in fact Canadian. He's born here in Toronto. He just got recruited to Alabama. But yeah, there's another Canadian going to the Nuggets alongside Jamal Murray and the Nets right now. So the Nets won't have a pick for a while. They trade all their pick for James Harden. From my opinion, I didn't really like that trade. I liked Karis LeVert there. They had a great bench. They had a great center in Jared Allen. Even if they couldn't re-sign him, having him during this playoff run could really, really help them out. Let me check if he's still here. This video is gonna be unedited, so just a raw cut of me telling who's who's gonna get drafted. This video may be coming late because I'm having a trouble with editing issues. People who want to edit for me. I currently can't find this guy. This guy that I'm talking about is Daron Sharpie. There he is. It took me a while. Daron Sharpie. They need a center. Come on, like you see in their centers right now. Nicholas Claxton is a good start for them. He's a great shooter. If they want to get him, a mid-range shooter, so that's gonna be pretty good for them. They need someone who can attack to the rim. DeAndre Jordan can't do that anymore. So Nicholas Claxton and Daron Sharpie, two young centers that can run the floor and get you, inside buckets is going to be really, really helpful. Both can extend their range I think Nicholas Claxton is starting to extend his range from three-point land. So if they continue to do that, their team is going to be deadly if they develop Sharpie really well. For the Sixers, I got Christopher for them to draft. He can help out with the defense. He's a pretty good defender. They already have Matisse Thybulle and a lot of great defenders. Josh Christopher is just going to make them a really, really good defending team. And I feel like defense does win championships at the end of the day, and the Sixers want to win a championship. So they want players that can instantly come in and, play some great defense as a rookie. Other than Matisse Thybulle at the shooting guard position, I can't think of one shooting guard there that has like pretty good defense. So Josh Christopher can do that, and also can drive to the rim if they need some buckets. And he's a good mid-range shooter and decent three-point shooter. So Josh Christopher is my selection. Um, so I have two more picks left for the Suns. The Suns and the Jazz. I'm just gonna be doing the Suns one quickly. I can give like a quick analysis for that, and then we should be ending off from there and pick my last guy. Um, so for the Suns, I'm sorry if I'm rushing. Please let me know down in the comments as well. Um, Nahshon Highlander's the guy I'm choosing. He's a point guard, shooting guard. I'm gonna check if they have Highland. Nahshon Highland. The reason why they get Nahshon Highland is because they need catch and shoot shooters around Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They have campaign and all, but Nahshon Highlander can play maybe the shooting guard for them if they want. I didn't really know what the Suns really needed exactly. They could pick a center, maybe someone like Isaiah Todd or something. Maybe they should have picked Isaiah Todd. You know what? I'm gonna change my for my stuff. I'm gonna make them choose Isaiah Todd. He should be in the first round for sure. They need size. They were a pretty small ball team. Even if he's a power forward, he can play the center for them. Has a great vertical, so he can definitely slash as well. And finally, for the Jazz, just randomly choose someone. I picked this person because he actually plays like Jordan Clarkson. If they have another Jordan Clarkson, it's going to make them even better. Um, the person I was going to select was Quentin Grimes. I actually don't even know who that is. Let me go to my shooting guard. Quentin Grimes. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to pick Jaden Springer, best shooting guard in the draft right now. Not in the draft right now. What am I saying? Available. Maybe I could have picked Brandon Boston because he's a really good three-point shooter. They get shooting off the bench. I just saw Terrence Clark here. R.I.P. Terrence Clark. As we all know, he passed away. He wasn't able to, get drafted, which is quite sad. But yeah, Brandon Boston or Jaden Springer could be a good chosen player there. So Jaden Springer, the best shooting guard available. I feel like they need another shooting guard other than Jordan Clarkson. I didn't really know what the Jazz really needed. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end my video here. You guys see my selection and stuff. I might make another video talking about the rosters after this and my, outside look to it. I don't have much time left right now. So thank you for listening to my video. I hope you enjoy. And it's been your boy V Games. I'll see you back in the next video. Please let me know down in the comments what you think about my mock draft. And yeah, peace, guys.